Hey guys, gals, and NBs. So I have the Behringer Poly D here, and I've wanted one of these for quite some time. The problem is generally every time I wanted one, they were out of stock. But I saw this actually right on Christmas Day, so I ordered it the next day, and I have one. And yeah, it's fantastic, as you could hear from the opening. I have no complaints about this sound. I'm just going to go over a few things on it. It's going to be kind of a short video. It's just my feelings on this as of just having it for a few days. But yeah, it's absolutely just excellent. So let me go ahead and turn off the effects here. And I had this really lovely pad in the opening. I'm in poly mode, which is actually quite the misnomer. This does not have independent filter and amplifier sections for each voice. It's paraphonic, but the limitations make it really interesting, and you can be very creative with this. So yeah, so this is what it sounds like with the chorus turned off and just normal notes. I think it sounds good just by itself, but when you add effects, this thing just comes to life. Even the built-in chorus is pretty good. This is based on the Juno 60/6 chorus. I did not like the pedals. This obviously TC Electronic is part of the I think it's Music Tribe group, which is Behringer basically. And I did not like the pedal forms. They didn't sound all that good, either version 1 or 2. It had weird distortions. This one doesn't seem to have it, but beautiful stereo chorus. Keep it in mode 2, just like I do on a real Juno. Yeah, so it's a fairly simple synth. Little hard to understand because of just how it's laid out, but you get there. So that is using sawtooth waves on all of the oscillators. Let's listen to it on square waves on all the oscillators. And that sounds pretty cool. No pulse width modulation. You do have pulse width options, so what you could do is you can have like it set to different pulse on here. You can go into mono mode. You can hear that a little better. And yeah, so the only other really major issues that I have with this is with all units. It's not my particular unit, but the triangle is very, very quiet. I'll have this boosted in post, but it is very quiet, as is the triangle saw combination, or like a shark tooth, I guess that's what it would be. But yeah, I usually use saw waves. Triangles I don't use all that often on analog synths, but the sawtooth and the square wave just sound phenomenal on this thing. So let's make a quick pluck sound, I guess. We can take down the envelopes. Let's go back to poly or paraphonic mode. Fairly fast envelopes. Yeah. So I think that is awesome too for like pluck sounds. Let's actually turn off the chorus for this. The other thing that this has is a built-in distortion circuit. And the distortion, from what I understand, is based on the Boss DS1. It really does sound like a DS1 to me. Let's actually listen to that. And that sounds really cool with effects. Let's listen to that really quick. So I have the dig here and the slower. Oh, not in that octave, obviously, but... bring the distortion down a little. Yeah, really cool. Let's turn off the distortion again. Pretty cool. It has an arpeggiator in it, and the arpeggiator is pretty useful. It has a sequencer too. I haven't played with the sequencer that much, but I love the arpeggiator. It's got hold, obviously. One interesting thing about that is you can see there, it's going to cycle through the oscillator. So you can have the oscillator set to different waveforms and everything. And if you're using the ARP, it's going to hit the different oscillators obviously differently. So yeah, that's a little out of tune. I need to sit there with a tuner. I did this by ear, but yeah. Yeah, so not much more to say about it. I mean, you're going to see this in a video, quite a few videos coming up. I just like it so much. I love the key bed. The key bed actually feels really good. It doesn't feel quite as good as like the Fatar key bed on like the Argon 8 or something like that. But it does feel better than your typical like Korg key bed that's like on the Wave State and Op6 and even the Minilog. But yeah, it has aftertouch and everything. It's routable. I haven't tried the aftertouch yet. I don't think you can route the aftertouch to anything directly. I think you have to use a cable in the back and then route it to where you want it to go. But I could be wrong on that. But yeah, very nice key bed. Build quality is phenomenal. This thing is heavy. This thing is quite heavy. So I think it's like, it's more than 20 pounds. Metal wood construction. The knobs all feel great. The potentiometers feel great. The buttons actually feel pretty good too on the sequencer, which I'm surprised about being Behringer and all. But yeah, switches great. The mod and pitch wheels all feel fantastic. Yeah, I'm so happy with how it sounds. Filters, obviously your standard ladder filter. It does suck a lot of the low end if you use the resonance, or as they call it, emphasis on this. But I don't know if the envelopes on this are generated digitally or in the analog spectrum, but they're pretty quick, which is pretty cool. So as you can hear from that, yeah, I just want to keep playing this. What else can I go over on this? It has noise, so that's pretty cool. Let's turn on the noise. It's really good with pads. Yeah, so yeah. Let's just mess with it a little more. Guess what we can do is we can have some fun with the ARP. Let's do that. Let's turn it right around here. pretty cool. Let's switch it all back to saws, I guess. So let's do saws everywhere. Let's see. ARP is off. And just really quick, the way I go about tuning the oscillators to each other is pretty simple. What I do is, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the attack. We're going to turn the sustain all the way up. We're going to turn the filter all the way up. What we're going to do, Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off all of the oscillators. Let's turn on the first one. Let's pretend that's in tune. I don't know if it is. It sounds okay. And then we're going to switch this to mono mode so they're all active, right? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to switch on the next oscillator. We're going to keep oscillator 1 on. We're going to tune each oscillator to each other. And what we're going to do is, you know how it almost sounds like a chorusing sound there? We're going to tune the second oscillator, the one we have on now, the one we're tuning to the first one, to sound as, we want it to have no beating to it, just as close to perfectly still as we can. It's about on par. Now let's do oscillator 3. Okay, we have a little bit of phasing and beating happening there. Okay, that's close. Okay, oscillator 4 seems to be very out of tune with the other one. There we go. Now we can turn them all back on. So we're going to turn on oscillator 4, 3, 2, and 1 is obviously on. All right. Okay, that actually doesn't sound too bad. And the chorus hides some of that, obviously, because it's going to add its own detune to it. Cool. Let's turn on the ARP. We have different types of ARP. I think that's random. So yeah, that just sounds absolutely. Again, I don't know how else to put it. It's fantastic. That's really cool. It's a really cool use of the ARP. I saw it on some other videos, and that was a really cool use case for this. It's another thing you can do with the Behringer and the Korg. I don't know if you can do it with the original Korg. You should be able to, yeah, since it has an arpeggiator. But you can do it with the mono poly as well. And the mono poly is definitely in something that I'm looking for. I just got to make some room before I get it. Yeah, this thing takes up a lot of room, but God, the sound is so worth it. So yeah, that's just some quick thoughts. I'm already going close to 17 minutes if the recorder's right here in this video, and just messing around with it. Just wanted to take everybody through the journey of how this thing sounds. The price just recently dropped too, as of it is like down to $539 from $599. The mono poly is still $599, but for $539, this thing is just phenomenal. Bang for the buck. Yeah, I'm stopping myself from playing it even more. I just get lost in it. I was seriously sitting here for almost 45 minutes before I started recording, just messing with it, getting it all in tune, and just enjoying the sound. Yeah. So, from previous videos from other people, this thing sounds fairly close to a real Model D. It's a little off. It's a little more on the buzzy side. It's fine with me. Again, $539 versus something that costs $5,000. I will take this any day. I can't afford something like that for a single synth. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to comment on it and ask questions, or if you have any ideas of what I should do with the Poly D in the next video, like what pedals to pair it with, if you've seen my pedal walkthrough video, then I will be willing to pair this with something. All right. Thanks again. Have a good New Year's.